Christian, you're finally on your own. Down, down, down. TNA Genesis 2005, guys, and this is a throwback and a half. About 17 years ago, this bad boy was. And it's just, like, see TNA, man, really underrated. People used to slander about TNA, but fuck, see, compared to wrestling these days, TNA was absolutely unreal. But we have many things tonight. We have got the debut of Christian Cage. We have a mega 6-man tag with Team 3D in action with a lot of shit. But let's dive into it. We have Raven coming out. I'm a fan of Raven. I'm not going to deny this. I think he's very, very, very underrated. But then out comes Larry Sabisco. He comes out and says, "I don't like you, Raven." Obviously, these two have got a feud going on, but I'm not watching the daily episodes of Impact, so I don't know at this time what's going on. But they have some sort of feud. Basically says, "I've picked an opponent for you," and out comes PJ Polaco. You may be thinking, who in the flying fuck is PJ Polaco? Yeah, and then Tenay says, well, I knew who it was, like, but obviously I didn't know him by this name. But then Mike Tenay says, formerly known as Just Incredible. Now, if they can say formerly known as Just Incredible, can they not just call him Just Incredible? I don't know if this was copyright or whatever, so they couldn't say Just Incredible. But surely, if they could, they would not have come up with PJ Polaco. Like, you know, there's been numerous name changes in, like, TNA and WWE history. And, like, WCW, where they've had to go off different names and shit. But this has to be one of the... PJ Polaco. I mean, Just Incredible. Or PJ Polaco. You know, I mean, the match is alright. Polaco comes down here with a lot of hype. I can't even remember if they mentioned it was his debut, but Raven beats him, and it's kind of like, okay, that's a wee bit weird. But then next up, we have the Free Live Crew, who are basically Team America at this stage, but not quite Team America. We've got BG James, we've got, you know, Road Dogg, Conan, and Ron the Truth Killings. Basically, Billy Gunn, Kip James is trying to be pally-pally with these, but Conan isn't having it. But they're in a feud with Team Canada. And basically, Kip James decides to be the special guest referee for this match. And what I love about Billy Gunn, so he needs a special guest referee. He wears like the tightest top and shorts imaginable, and he just looks like a pure nonce, and it's funny as fuck. So he's always done it in WWE, WWF, or TNA, or whatever company he's in. I'm sure if he does a special guest referee match in AEW, he'll do the exact same thing. But this is a pretty solid match. Team Canada consists of A1, Bobby Roode, and Eric Young. I completely forgot how many members Team Canada had. You know, you basically had Jeff Jarrett in it. You've got Scott D'Amore. Oh, this shit. America's Most Wanted. I don't know. I thought this was absolutely insane, like, but it's a hockey stick fight. Basically, they have to get a hockey stick down. It's like a hockey stick on a pole match, essentially. But the team of the Free Live Crew defeat Team Canada. It's a good match. This is a good 3-on-3 match. Next up, we have like a #1 contenders match, but it's not really billed as that. It's just billed as a contenders match because, oh, the winner might get a title shot down the road. I mean, okay. We have Monty Brown, also known as Marcus Corvon, taking on Jeff Hardy. A good, quick 8-minute match. I mean, I feel like Monty Brown or Corvon got shafted. And then TNA as well. Like, I think this guy could have easily won the belt. It's just Jeff Jarrett's reign of fucking terror wasn't having it. And Jeff Hardy here, I feel like got hard done by. But yeah, Jeff Hardy picking up the L here. Next up, we basically have this X Division 4-on-4 match. We've got Team Ministry. Daniels is the leader, right? And I don't know if this is like a dig at the higher power, because obviously, if you're not aware, Team Ministry, which is Alex Shelley, Daniels, Roger Strong, Samoa Joe. Ministry, he was supposed to be the higher power, which was the Ministry, of course, in WWF, but well, he was rumoured, not supposed to, he was rumoured to be. But, you know, is this paying homage to that? I don't know, but we proceed to have a 4-on-4 X Division match. I mean, Roderick Strong's first eliminated, then it's Aries, Dutch, Shelley, Bentley, and Chris Sabin, but it basically comes down to Daniels and Joe taking on Sabin. Sabin basically gets outnumbered here, but then after the match, it's an absolutely brutal attack by Samoa Joe to Christopher Daniels, which is all good in the hood, but the next match, like, he does leave him a bloody pulp, right? He has to get carried out the arena, right? But then we have the next match. I'm kind of glossing over a few segments here, but we'll go back to them after this match because I just feel like it needs to be brought up. But we have a no disqualification match, Abyss versus Sabu. Honestly, like, a very underrated feud this. I feel like in 2005, like, I actually, seeing as someone says to me the year 2005, I actually think of a Biz Sabu. Obviously in WWE there's a lot of shit going on, but for some reason that is, like, TNA's Best of Bloodiest Brawls DVD. I remember those matches on it, and I actually loved this feud as a kid watching it. There was just brutal fucking hardcore matches. Again, we've got thumbtacks, barbed wire, steel chairs, everything. A Biz does beat Sabu, right? But they're doing moves in this, and they're kicking, not even kicking it, but they're doing all these brutal moves in this that are worse than what Joe just did to Daniels. But, like, they were making out there was a fucking death in the arena. What Joe did to Daniels. I get that, right? You want to make it seem brutal as fuck. I'm totally for that, but I just feel like when the next match is an ODQ match and they're doing stuff worse in an actual match than what Joe did to Daniels, it's a wee bit stupid, but Abiz picks up the win. Can't remember when Christian made his debut, but he comes out, he cuts a promo, good promo, basically burying WWE, but it wasn't like today with like Punk and AEW or anyone else, like Eddie Kingston, who's never even stepped foot in WWE, but fucking proceeds to slabber about it. Like, Christian actually has a case of getting fucking hard done by here. You know what I mean? I have Christian, like, and Christian actually left WWE. He wasn't fired like all these other fucking bums that go to AEW that were released and surplus to requirements. Christian was offered far more money by WWE, but he went to TNA. Comes out, he's interrupted though by Team Canada, Scott D'Amore and Bobby Roode. Basically lay down the gauntlet. He says, we're going to give you this Team Canada shirt, but you need to decide by the end of the show. And Bobby Roode then goes off and Christian, it's like, Bobby, who the fuck are you, mate? This is Christian Cage. But yeah, so we've got a big decision pending by the end of the day. But I mean, these big fucking decisions, right? Christian joining this main faction in TNA. It's like, when do you get shit like intrigued to the end of the show? You get fuck all now. You know what I mean? Absolutely garbage. And we also had, this was the same day Eddie Guerrero died. I probably should have mentioned that at the start of the vid, but yeah, obviously sad. We have a promo from Team 3D and basically Brother Ray, basically tribute to Eddie Guerrero. So this is sad, happened the same day, of course. So yeah, a wee promo package at the start. Rest in peace, Guerrero. Should have mentioned that, I forgot. Sorry, but Eddie G, R.I.P. Then we have for the X Division Championship, AJ Styles taking on Pete Williams. AJ Styles cuts a promo before the match, basically saying, what Samoa Joe did wasn't right, man. It wasn't right. Don't sit with me, son. Pete Williams just sitting there like a big shite bag. Yeah. I mean, this was a good match, but basically the whole hype was that they had a match on Impact of who hit their finisher first one, which was a weird match. But yeah, I mean, it was a decent match. But this is when, like, I wouldn't say indie wrestling was ever cool, but I feel like TNA in like the early, like, mid 2000s, that's when indie wrestling was at its best, because it was under the name TNA and it was very unique, and you actually had fucking a decent level of fucking star power in the divisions. You know, like, I mean, I'm not saying the 4-on-4 match is full yet, but you know, the likes of like Samoa Joe, Daniels, AJ Styles, Pete Williams, they're all, I mean, especially like Styles, you know what I mean, AJ Styles, he's a bit of star power, isn't he, brother? But yeah, AJ Styles defeats him with a Styles Clash off the top rope, but Samoa Joe came out and he was watching very intriguingly. But then next up we have a 3-on-3 main event. We've got RHINO, Team 3D taking on Jeff Jarrett and America's Most Wanted. RHINO comes out, Jeff Jarrett pushes him down the arena. He crashes down a flight of stairs, which is brutal. Looked at this card, the pay-per-view on Wikipedia, only 900 people in attendance. Did someone edit that, or is that right? I doubt that. Only 900. That is shockingly low for a card that is this fucking good. I mean, you'd expect a fucking jobber show to get that, but some insane moves. What I liked about this, you get real heat on the heels here, because every time the Dudleys or Team 3D went to use, like, or put someone through a table, you know, they kept on moving the table so it couldn't happen. But the Dudleys, the RHINO hits a gore on Jeff Jarrett, but the ref gets pulled out of the ring, so Jeff Jarrett gets saved there. A bunch of good spots, more table spots that don't get used, but it was good. It was good build up. Basically, the face team win here in the end. I believe it was Chris Harris who takes the pinfall. Out comes Christian. He's wearing the Team Canada shirt. Our worst fears are realised, but it turns out, nah, he fucking hits Jeff Jarrett. He basically hits the Imperator on Scott D'Amore. They batter Jeff Jarrett. The Dudley boys pick him up. And then Christian does like the free, like he's at the, basically it's like a triple 3D with Christian Cage. Brilliant moment. Christian aligns himself with like the faces in TNA, and he's turned down Team Canada. And what a way for the show to go off the air, guys. I mean, it's not the most star-studded show, but you know what? It's still a damn good show, just like Slammiversary 2013. For that reason alone, guys, I'm going to give it a very good and a very solid 7.5 out of 10. It is missing, you know, like your big names, like your Stings, for example, you know, but for what it is, it's still a very good and entertaining show. And there wasn't one match that I thought, oh, that was a wee bit shit. Each match felt important to its own right. But anyway, guys, and a lot of blood, a lot of entertainment. And until next time, peace.